Will this be the day? An afternoon on a Thursday that the White Sox clinch a postseason berth here in 2020. Minnesota is the opposition, and it's very simple for the White Sox this afternoon. Win, and you're in the playoffs for the first time since 2008. Obviously, some bigger fish to fry as well. The AL Central standings have the Sox still on top by 2 games over Minnesota, by 6 over Cleveland, and the Sox still do have the best record in the AL, but the opposition today is Kenta Maeda on the mound, and he is thoroughly difficult to deal with. 31 hits in 55 2/3. He spun a gem on day 3 of the season, but Reynaldo Lopez stands in the way of Minnesota, and if he throws like Saturday against the Tigers, it could be the day for the Sox. We'll find out together. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you, and the Sox offense was quiet last night against Minnesota, but certainly that would be the unit that could propel the Sox into the postseason today.
Both of these teams live and die with the home run. When they hit home runs, they usually win the ball game. When they don't, it's a little bit tougher. As you can see with the Sox, 27 and 12, averaging almost 6 runs a game when they hit a home run. Without it, it's still okay, but the average a little over 3. For the Twins, 26 and 15. When they hit a home run, they average almost 5 runs a game. Without that, just about 3 runs per game. So if you can keep them in the ballpark, which is a tough task, especially on a very warm and a bit windy day, I think the Sox are going to be in pretty good shape.
Sox and Twins, game number 4. Sox could win the series. Sox could go to the playoffs. We'll break down Maeda versus Lopez when we come back.
Sox baseball on NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. First Midwest Bank, helping you build momentum. You have plans. First Midwest Bank has ideas. Xfinity. Xfinity X5 delivers blazing fast Wi-Fi with no curveballs. And by Wintrust, home of White Sox checking. Visit wintrust.com/Sox to open today.
Clouds are shoving off at Guaranteed Rate Field. Blue sky on its way as we bring you game number 4 between the Sox and Twins, and it would not be much of a stretch to make a Cy Young case for Kenta Maeda this year.
There's no doubt he's very good, and everything he throws sinks. So normally he keeps the ball in the ballpark. On the other side of the equation, Reynaldo Lopez throws a lot of high fastballs. He's got to be able to change speeds today, and hopefully that slider is going to be a good one. Last time we saw him, he was very good. 3 hits in 5 innings, only 1 walk. That was against the Tigers, and things went well. Whole lot of offense. The cutoffs were good. Everything was good. And hopefully he will remain magical. On the other side of the page, Kenta Maeda has just great stuff. 2.25 ERA. Opponent's batting average of 161. 63 strikeouts to only 10 walks. That's absolutely unbelievable. So when you figure out that in his last 5 starts, nobody's touched him at all, hopefully he has a tough afternoon today. It's a day game.
It certainly is. And the playoffs are looming. The final time the Sox and Twins get together this year. It's very dark. We're gonna need a bigger boat. Dispatches him. Nicky 2 strikes with a parachute down the right field line and a 1-0 lead. And he does slash on the way through, and the Sox take the lead. Sox win the opener. What a game. Sox lead 1-0. 2-run single, Luis Robert. 4-1 Sox. Bring him home. Sox win again. 2 in a row against Minnesota. Buxton has a 2-run home run. This is one of those you just say, Mama said there will be days like this. Robert back at the track, and this ball is gone. This team, when they've had a game like this,
come back roaring.
And we'll see what the bounce back looks like today. Quick dayside turnaround. Sox with a win go to the postseason. It's as simple as that. And our 4 seasons weather, it is beautiful, magical at the ballpark. And the magic number being 1, maybe that's why it's magical.
Magical's playing second base and hopefully has a good day today.
spelling is very difficult for you, I understand. Let's take a look at our Insure on the Spot starting lineup. Get your free auto insurance quote in just 2 minutes at insureonthespot.com. Swing percentage. Who swings most in this lineup? The answer is Buxton. Kepler at the top, then Donaldson, Polanco, Cruz, Rosario, Sano, Buxton, Gonzalez, and the young catcher Jeffers.
It's Lope on for his 6th start. He's 1-2. Last time he was very good. ERA of 5.5. He's got to be able to keep the ball in the ballpark. He's allowed 3 home runs this year. That's going to be one of the keys to this. And left-handers have hit him to a 321 clip. For Roman, here's the matchups. Nelson Cruz, well, that's not good. Kepler, he's done a nice job against him, although a couple of home runs, and Josh Donaldson has also hit him. So this is not an easy ball club to face. And Ronaldo has the chore today. Our UI Health defensive alignment, this is how Ricky Renteria is going to put him out there this afternoon. It's Eloy, Luis, and Jared in the outfield left to right. With Yohan, Tim, Nick, and Jose in the infield. Yasmani Grandal's got the plate. Ronaldo Lopez on the hill. The umpires, Dan Bellino has the plate. The crew chief, Angel Hernandez, is at first. Will Little at second, and Nick Lentz is at third. I don't think you can afford to walk any of these guys today. There's too much thunder in this lineup. And the Sox know they're going to have to put some runs on the board themselves this afternoon.
When the Sox are in the postseason, it's pretty much going to happen. It's just a question of when the White Sox clinch that playoff berth. The Dodgers are the only team in. The Sox could be team number 2 by the end of the day. A win would do it. First pitch, off we go. Strike 1 on Max Kepler, who was 0 for 3 with one of those walks last night. And to your point, the Sox got away with a lot of walks in the series opener. 10 of them, in fact, and 1, but that's not going to happen again.
No, it won't happen with Maeda on the mound. He's very difficult to hit these days. That was a pretty good deal with the Dodgers. He is signed for a couple more years. Actually, they've got him for 4 this year and 3 others, so he's going to be around a while, and he's a mainstay in that rotation.
On 1-1, that's a little bit off the plate on a changeup. 2-1 for Kepler. In that last start, Ronaldo Lopez used his fastball better than he had for most of the season, as Kepler sends this one to third. Yohan Moncada makes the catch, and 1 gone in the Minnesota first.
Promising way to start it. It's one of those games that you would dearly love to have. Taking 3 or 4 from this team would, if not make it a crusher for a series, it would certainly make it very difficult. The Indians keep on losing. They lost a pair to the Cubs across town. They've now lost 8 games in a row.
That was entering today the leadoff batter number you saw. Look, this game is even more important because a win against Minnesota today guarantees the tiebreaker against the Twins as well. So it's really worth a couple of games in the AL Central. And ideally, you win your division, because then you're guaranteed one of the top 3 seeds in the American League playoffs.
That would certainly be the best case scenario.
In for a strike, 1-2 for Donaldson, who had struck out in 7 straight games before yesterday's 0 for 3 with 3 balls in play. And here's that last pitch.
Donaldson wasn't too happy with this. I can understand why, but a nice job of framing by Grandal.
We've seen all year what good framing can do for pitchers.
And pictures.
Pitcher in picture, our new technology on NBC Sports Chicago.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he certainly did. 2 down.
Same thing happened last night on a high fastball inside. Donaldson started to swing, just couldn't check it up. I mean, that's really the difference. And Donaldson's a good hitter. He's got strong hands and wrists, but we've seen Sano do approximately the same thing. He's a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, and he's able to check it up in situations like that. Twice, Donaldson was not able to.
And it's nothing more than the alarm going off in your head saying, I got to defend myself. First pitch on Polanco, a strike on a slider from Reynaldo Lopez.
It's pretty good news this inning that Ronaldo's getting ahead with strike one.
A little bit down on the change. 1 ball, 1 strike to Polanco, who got the day off yesterday with Adrianza playing shortstop. Minnesota yesterday got all 5 of its runs on home runs. A 2-run shot for Buxton, a 2-run shot for Sano, and a solo shot for Rosario. Those guys are hitting 5, 6, 7 in the order today, as it's now 3-1 on Polanco.
Last thing you want to do is face that guy in this first inning. If you're Polanco, knowing that nobody wants to face Cruz, you're looking fastball. You get anything else, you're going to have to defend it, but you're looking fastball, you're looking for it away.
It was a fastball and jarred foul. 3-2.
Pretty good life on 94 miles an hour. It had the plate, but had a little late life, and he couldn't square it up.
You go change up here, 3-2. What do you think?
I don't know if he's got the confidence yet for it. I'd try a fastball away. Maybe you can get a fly ball lifted to left.
Up and out on a fastball, and it's a 2-out walk for Polanco. This is the matchup that strikes you as dangerous because Cruz hits leaky fastballs very hard.
And one of the things you probably want to do with him is the Sox have kept him by and large under control this series by throwing the ball away from him. He's hit the ball hard a few times, but he's hit it to the opposite field. That's a way to contain him. You're not going to shut him down. I mean, not only is he a slugger, but he hits 321. You look at the other numbers, he's just flat out a good hitter these days.
Ball 1, a fastball inside to Nelson Cruz. 40 years old, designated hitter, turned 40 on July the 1st. So most of the home runs for Cruz this year, 12 of them, have come on fastballs as he swings through that changeup. 1-1.
This is a good change. Good late movement. This one just dove inside.
We'll be watching Kenta Maeda's changeup all day long. That's a very good pitch for him, and there's some good drop on that one from Lopez. Snapped in for a strike. A slider caught the corner. 1-2.
Hopefully Ronaldo gets out of this inning, and with pitches like that, he's likely to. That's a dandy. But the bottom of the first could be the most important inning of today and what they do against Maeda. And we'll explain it as we move along.
1-2. Polanco runs. Grandal's throw is off the third base side of second, and Polanco got a good jump anyway. Stolen base on 2-2 now.
Rocco Baldelli, knowing that most likely after a slider you're going to see another slider. That's a very good pitch to run. Lopez is not quick to home plate, and there was very little chance to get him. Again, when you think about throwing to second base, for all you young catchers out there, there's no outs on the third base side of second. If you're going to miss, you miss on the first base side of second.
Two and two. Went fastball, and it was middle.
Fortunately, he did foul it back, and maybe another one of those changeups. If he can throw it in the same spot, get it to dive in under the hands of Cruz, that would be a pretty good pitch.
Another fastball busted him. Lopez threw a scoreless first. 2 strikeouts. Donaldson protecting. Cruz trying to hit a bomb. Didn't do it. No score. On this Thursday afternoon, as we take a look at our Insure on the Spot starting lineup, get your free auto insurance quote in just 2 minutes at insureonthespot.com. Big variation in swing percentage. Top of the card. Tim swings a lot. Yasmani does not. Abreu and Jimenez do. Encarnacion, Morchuzzi, along with Moncada, Luis Robert, then Gerard Dyson and Nick Madrigal.
Kenta Maeda going to the mound for his 10th start. His ERA a little below 2.5. You look at the rest of the numbers, they're just special numbers. He has allowed 6 home runs, however. For Roman, he throws a lot of pitches. The slider 40%, the splitter 29%, four-seamer 18%, and the rest not too much to talk about. But the first inning is very important, because if he's going to make a mistake up, it's going to be in the first inning.
First pitch, a strike on a slider from Kenta Maeda, who has given up 3 first-inning runs, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but he's not allowed more than 3 runs in any given inning all year in each inning on his splits for the season.
Well, he has excellent control, and so because most of his pitches look the same, and then when he gets you into the situation where he can strike you out, he uses that splitter. They're all coming out of the same spot. That makes it doubly tough for the hitters to pick up anything in his delivery.
Left-hand side, it's Donaldson just under the wire for out number 1.
Let's take a look at our UI Health defense and how Rocco Baldelli is going to put them out there this afternoon. It's a familiar lineup. We see it a lot. Rosario, Buxton, and Kepler in the outfield. Donaldson, Polanco, Marwin Gonzalez, and Sano in the infield. Ryan Jeffers got the plate. We told you about Kenta Maeda.
Kenta Maeda, if not for Shane Bieber, would be one of the leaders for the Cy Young Award in the American League. Lucas Giolito's on the list as well.
But Maeda's going to get some votes. And the way Bieber closes will determine about his candidacy. But right now, you'd have to say, if you're going to pick them all, he would have the inside track. Those people who are saying that he might win the MVP, I don't think that's going to happen, but he'll be tough to beat in the Cy.
1-1 to Grandal. You saw Tim ground out to third. The ground ball rate has increased dramatically for Kenta Maeda, and that change that he throws is a major part of it. It's got a lot of vertical drop. People are on top of it quite a bit. This is a ground ball into center, base hit. Not all ground balls are created equal, and the Sox have a 1-out single.
Be a good inning to put some runs on the board. Sox are going to need them, and they have a base runner on. So this one a little higher than he would like, and it doesn't appear to be a high pitch, but it's just under belt high. For Maeda, that is a high pitch.
That had more drift than it had drop as well. And here is Jose Abreu. You talk about MVP candidates. I've had a number of people ask me over the last week, people with votes, people without votes, random fans, who you taking, Abreu or Anderson? And it changes by the day.
Well, both guys have a lot on their resume for a candidacy this year for MVP. And I think you're right. I mean, one day you say, okay, Jose's done enough today where he probably has got a leg up, and then Tim comes through with a 3 or 4 hit game, which he does quite a bit. Then you say, okay, he's done enough. Then you look at the runs he's scored, and you go back to the home runs and runs driven in for Jose. You could literally make a case for both and not go wrong with either.
0-2 from Maeda to Abreu. Well, if one of the 2 Sox guys becomes the MVP, they would join some very select company. Nellie Fox, Dick Allen, Frank Thomas.
Certainly a pretty good threesome.
One ball, 2 strikes on Jose.
Consider Nellie Fox winning it. so much the antithesis of the other two. Dick Allen, Big Frank, they were bangers. They had a lot of home runs, drove in a lot of runs. Nelly played a good defense and made a lot of contact. Tough guy to strike out.
1959, 717 trips to the plate. This to shortstop. Polanco for Gonzalez, and that's a 6-4-3 double play. So we told you about the ground ball rate for Maeda. It has played a big role so far. No score can ever be seen, and so we have news and notes for you. We're in a New York state of mind. Kyle Higashioka, 3 home runs of the 7 for the Yankees. 13-2 the final score.
Well, you can certainly see that coming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ryan Braun, 350 career home runs. Really tight race for second in the NL Central. The Sox will be involved in that in Cincinnati starting tomorrow. And then the Dodgers have clinched. The Sox seem to be next. They can do it with a win today or losses by the Orioles, Tigers, and Mariners later on.
Not a lot of soft spots in that Dodger lineup or Dodger team.
Garrett Cole on Kyle Higashioka. There have been some rumblings about Higashioka being his personal catcher. Garrett Cole said after the game yesterday when Higashioka hit the 3 home runs, he said he keeps hitting like that. I'm going to be his personal pitcher.
I would say that could make a pitcher pretty happy. Not that Garrett Cole needed a lot of help, but 13 runs always makes the day pass a little bit better for you.
It gets you excited to go out for the next inning. Reynaldo Lopez to Eddie Rosario as the Twins struck out twice and walked once in the first. Rosario checked it foul, 0-1 on the slugger, who will swing at a lot of different things in the box. Eddie Rosario. He's a really good baseball player. I enjoy watching him play.
Plays a nice left field, and if you make a mistake, you've got some problems with him. He's got big power.
He looks a little bit perplexed at what he's seeing from Lopez in the first 2 swings or check swings.
Well, you can throw a fastball in under his hands. We saw that last night. But if you make a mistake with a changeup, he hits it out of the park. We also saw that last night.
Off balance swing and a pop up. Foul territory. Grandal against a strong wind makes the catch for out number 1. Your 2020 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, the league leader in mortgages. Here's the pitch. Visit rate.com today. There's the arrow. The arrow has been on the mound at points. We have the Goose on the mound today.
Out of retirement?
Well, he's hanging out in the right field stands, but his brother is on the mound.
The regular Goose. Not my former roommate, Mr. Gossage.
No, we have a gaggle here, not just one. 1 out, ball 1. Miguel Sano, who was 1 for his last 17 before his home run in last night's 8th inning.
Well, last night they decided to go with a 3-1 fastball to Sano. He's so strong. That pitch wasn't down the middle. It was actually pretty much on the outer third, and he still easily took it out of the ballpark.
1-1. Sano takes a strike. A fastball bottom of the zone. 1-2.
Well, if Ronaldo decides he wants to go with a slider, it's probably a very good pitch here, especially if you can keep it away and down.
Well, Sano walked out of the batter's box, and Grandal started to show where he was going to set up and then sort of jostled himself back into the middle of the plate to make sure Sano didn't know. That was a slider, but it wasn't near enough the strike zone.
No, that one missed by plenty.
2-2. Breaking ball to Sano, and he whacks it foul. '26-year-old Reynaldo Lopez, last 3 games, Dunning, Giolito, and Lopez have all pitched. All in one trade with the Nationals in the Adam Eaton deal.
The Nationals got what they want. Eaton's been a good player for that.
Sano cut down. Reynaldo Lopez, 3 strikeouts in 6 batters.
Really changing pitches well, and more importantly than that, changing locations. He's got him swinging at the motion. This is a good change. He stayed right over the top with it. That's when Reynaldo has problems. When he gets to the side of this one, so he doesn't get straight sink, he gets a little drift. That one, the bottom fell out of.
You tell me if my eyes are deceiving me.
They are.
For me, well, that's usually a good guess. They're deceiving you, actually. They don't deceive me, just you. Best changeup we've seen from Lopez this year, consistently today.
That was really, well, that last one was a great one. He's had a very good one this afternoon so far, and hopefully he continues to harness that, because it's a big weapon for him. His fastball is good. It's not great, but the changeup is good.
Hey, first pitch strikes are absolutely currency.
And he's filling up the zone on the first pitch.
Yeah, 5 of 7 batters have seen a first pitch strike, and Buxton, who's been a variable that's been extremely dangerous in this series, he's down 0-2.
Good location. If you want to throw inside to Buxton, you can throw in there, but you want to keep it up. Down and in to him is not good. That's a ball that he rifles into left field. We'll take a look in at Yasmani. See who wants to throw this one.
Check swing and a foul back and right. Don't think he hit his spot there.
Nope. He got it up and in. Again, he got to the side of that ball. That's a big difference. It hit the knob of the bat, but when you're not on top of the fastball, you're not getting near the rotation you want on it, and you're not going to get the late life. That's been the one problem for Reynaldo, is occasionally he gets his fingers under the ball. It remains a lot flatter that way.
I wish you could show us down on the field how to do that. I want to see you wind up and throw a couple.
Oh, no, you don't.
I absolutely do. Next year.
It would be horrible.
Yeah, but it's good content. They would love it in the Microsoft Teams app that the White Sox content team uses. They'd put that all over Instagram and Twitter.
Well, we're going to try to do a little something, because I've sent some of my best people to find a pelota.
And we've got one. Fouled away right-hand side. You're going to show us grips or something next inning? What are we going to do?
I'm going to take it. I'm going to show you a grip, and then I'm going to fire a fastball at you from 12 feet away.
That's exactly why I asked, because when you were doing that monologue, you looked at me as though I was going to play the batter in this. And I have talked to my people. I don't want that role.
I'd like to get you a little bat and put you up against that big sock on the wall behind you.
Boy, this sounds like it's going to be a truly exceptional afternoon for one Jason Benetti. It's 1-2 on Buxton.
This baseball is actually rubbed up nicely. It's got little mud on it. Looks good.
Another foul ball right side. If we would have known all these foul balls were going to happen, we would have had you start what you were going to tell us. But well, you can't know.
Buxton has not been kind enough to end this at bat. This is a battling at bat for him. The more pitches you see, the easier it is for a pitcher to make a mistake.
One-two breaking ball. Buxton drills it down the left field side, and this ball is fair and gone.
Just like that. Left it on the inner portion, and Buxton hit it out. That's his 3rd home run of the series. 2 left the park. 1 was of the inside the park variety, and that ball just kind of floated inside, and Buxton swinging it too well right now to miss those. We'll watch it again for an home run replay. You can see that slider is literally right in the middle of the plate. The only hope was, would it go foul? And the answer is no, it would not, with Nick Lentz on the call.
So 1-0 Minnesota on the 4th home run the last 2 days for the Twins, and a first pitch ball 1. Now it's imperative for Lopez to bounce back, as Buxton enjoys his handiwork in the Minnesota dugout. This elevated behind second base. Robert coming in, and Luis makes the catch to retire the side. But Minnesota takes the early lead on Buxton's home run. Changeup this year. Look at where those things are. He does not miss his spot very much up with that changeup. Very few wayward changes, which leads to the ground ball rate. But the vertical movement on that thing that we were talking about is amazing. It is top 20 in Major League Baseball. This is compared to the average changeup of its type. 5 inches of vertical movement more. And we saw it a little bit early, but as you said, it probably will get better as the game goes along.
Well, he's crafted his pitching so that everything he throws actually sinks. I mean, it goes down, whether it's the fastball, his slider, obviously, the occasional curveball, not too much, but everything sinks. Just have to hope that you just catch him where his control isn't there. Now, he's only gone 2-0, and he's unhappy that one of them wasn't a strike.
Kenta Maeda against the Milwaukee Brewers on August the 18th made it into the 9th inning with a no-hitter. Eric Sogard broke it up, and eventually the Twins ended up winning the game, but they had to go to extra innings. They were up 3-0. Taylor Rogers came into the ball game and gave up the lead. So Rogers was talking to the interpreter for the Twins, and he said, "What does Kenta like? I want to get him something because I feel bad that I gave away his win after he lost a no-hitter. Like, can I get him is it like a nice type of vodka he likes, or like something like that?" And the trainer, or the interpreter for the Twins, said, no, get him some rice. And Taylor Rogers said, "What are you talking about? Like, that's not a nice gift at all." And the interpreter says, no, Kenta really likes high-end food. Like, I'll tell you what type to get, and he will love the gift. I know you've heard about gifts of like Rolexes and whatever it might be. I've never heard of somebody asking for rice, but he evidently loves high-end cuisine, and Taylor Rogers got him the rice, and he loved it.
No basmati?
No. Isn't that amazing?
Probably a little better than rice-a-roni.
Well, I know you love high-end cuisine as well, as long as it doesn't have like 19 ingredients that you can't handle. Oh, strike 3. Dan Bellino gave him the big old chop.
This is just a little slider. It looks like a cutter, and it's spinning and pretty much throws it down the middle. It just, Eloy, I'm not sure what he's looking for, but he wasn't looking for this. Doesn't have a lot of break on it, just splits the middle of the plate. But if he walks you, it's a news story.
Oh, goodness gracious, yeah. First pitch, strike on Edwin Encarnacion. Kenta Maeda had 2 walks in his last start, which was shocking and appalling to everybody in the Twin Cities. He's only had 1 other start this year with more than 1 walk, as it's now 0-2 on Encarnacion.
Well, he came in with 63 strikeouts and 10 walks. And when you can remember each and every one of your walks, as you probably can, you know it's a pretty good control season.
You remember every one of your walks?
Oh, I walked a lot of guys.
Easy setup. 0-2. And that is strike 3, 2 down. Time now for a word from your local Ford dealer.
We built Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup ever. We built Ford F-150 with 375 horsepower and Ranger with the terrain management system. Because of this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
Two down to Yoan Moncada. In TV parlance, that's called a squeeze back.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Mama's got a squeeze back. Daddy never sleeps at night. Two down for Moncada. You think I did a good job with that?
No, I think you did a terrific job.
I literally just sat here.
But you mentioned walks.
Yep.
And I told you I walked a lot of guys. I did, but I used it differently because there was a lot of situations where I would pitch around guys that would go as a regular walk, but I didn't think I could get him out for whatever reason. There were guys that hit you better than other guys. If I knew I could get the guy behind him out, I would literally, in a tough game, I would walk him, not intentionally, but just pitch around him, make sure that he couldn't do me any damage, and then take care of the next guy.
It's an actual strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I had to use it as that because there were certain left-handers especially that I just couldn't handle. And so I figured better they're on first than a double in the gap. Good off-speed pitch, drifting away, and yikes.
Not good.
No.
By the way, before this at bat, on the video board, Yoan Moncada's son Robinson, who just celebrated a birthday a couple of days ago, happy birthday Robinson, introduced Dad like we saw Christian and Kane and Jess McCann do on the video board yesterday. So very nice to see. We saw the reaction of James yesterday and how cool it was, with a big surprise to see his little guys on the video board, and Robinson Moncada saying hi to Dad. 1-2. Strike three. Kenta Maeda strikes out the side. Steve will show us some pitch grips next.
Forced him out of the ball game because it broke open. He hadn't pitched in a month, and it's easy to understand how that happened because pitchers will try to get more spin on all of their pitches. In the case of a slider, which is what he throws, you put your hands right here, and if you throw it off the middle finger, I did that. Now everybody grips it differently, but you keep your fingers on a seam. My index finger was a guide point, but I got all the spin off the middle finger. It's exactly what happens. If you don't have this nail really trimmed down well, it's going to pinch. You're going to get a blister. Eventually it's going to open. That's what happened with him. But we were talking about the grip for Ronaldo, and what happens sometimes is you get under the pitch. Under meaning your fingers are on the side of the baseball instead of keeping your fingers on top. If you keep your fingers on top, whatever you throw is going to go down. If you get under, whatever you throw is going to go to the side. And so that's how guys don't get the proper spin on their fastball. Fastball grip, you're throwing a four-seam fastball. You try to rotate it this way, comes off your fingers this way. The faster you rotate it, the more life at the end. But if you get under this at all, you're not going to get that rotation. You're not going to get that fast spin, and you're not going to get life on your fastball. That's the difference between Giolito when he's really good and some other pitchers who throw fastballs that just go straight.
So my question to you is it where you set your fingers before you throw the pitch? How does that happen that you get under it?
No, you can set your fingers any way you want to, as long as your fingers happen to be on top of the ball. Everybody has a different grip. A grip is something that you've thrown hundreds of thousands of pitches. You get a grip that you're comfortable with.
So where do you lose the technique?
Your fingers just get on the side of the ball instead of staying on top. You don't have to throw straight over the top to keep your fingers on top. There are guys who throw low three-quarters, almost sidearm, that can actually keep their fingers on top of the ball, and you still get the downward movement on the baseball. So now with a four-seamer, you want the life and you want to spin it backwards.
Woo! Strike three. Another big chop from Dan Bellino. Ronaldo will take it, and one gone.
That's the change, and that ball drifted back over the middle of the plate, and as you can see, good grip. That had some life to it. It had more side movement than it did down movement because his fingers were a little bit more on the side of the ball. That can be used as a strategy, but knowing that it's not going to go down.
One gone. Top of the order, Max Kepler. First pitch. This is going to be tough. Eloy coming in, and he is there to make the catch. Long way to go, but that ball had some helium, and 2 gone.
Well, Eloy laughing because he's the only one could have made it. They're playing Kepler as a pull hitter, and Eloy's the only one there. Tim can't go out far enough. Luis can't go over far enough, and Eloy calling for it, and he makes the catch.
See, that's the type of play where you see the confident stride from Eloy Jimenez. He's not picking his way through it. That's the type of play that suggests there's a better outfielder in that body, in that build.
Well, he's also looking over at center field, realizing that Luis was over toward right center, so he knows that's his ball, and plain and simple.
Woo! First pitch strike on Donaldson, who struck out in the first. Luis Robert. For round number 3, Reynaldo Lopez, a 1-2-3 inning. Guess who's leading off? The guy who just caught the ball. Maybe not for long. We'll find out. Luis Robert, last time the Sox saw Minnesota in this ballpark, July 26th. Kenta Maeda on the mound, and the first home run for Luis against this very guy. Same guy.
Well, let's hope the pitch is in the same spot.
And ends up in the same spot.
That would be nice.
"23 pitches through 2 for Kenta Maeda, and that includes a strikeout to the side last inning. Normally, big strikeout innings, big pitch innings. Not the case for Kenta Maeda, who threw only 12 times to 3 strikeouts last inning. 2-0 on Robert, who had his last multi-hit game against Minnesota last month.
Yeah, this is also really nice for him to be hitting 2-0. Maeda doesn't necessarily want to throw you a fastball here. In fact, we've seen a lot of sliders in this count. That is going to be a fastball away, however.
Missed his spot, fouled off.
Missed his spot, but got it in a decent enough spot so that Luis couldn't square it up.
Kenta Maeda has been as consistent as anybody as a starting pitcher this year. He's not allowed more than 3 earned runs in any given start. 15 total all year in 9 starts coming into today. You wish that was strike 3, because then Luis might have been at second base.
Well, that time he kind of made up his mind if it stayed in the park he was going to swing, because that came out of Maeda's hand. Probably shoot tip high and then wound up in the dirt.
That was a good one, and it's strike 3 on the outside corner. Play the Sox Split 50-50 raffle presented by Wintrust during every game this season. Now is your chance to win and support White Sox charities. Online tickets on sale now through the end of the 7th inning. The jackpot is building. Get your tickets at whitesox.com/SoxSplit. It grows and grows and grows throughout the game. Valid for Illinois residents 18 and over. One down, Gerard Dyson.
They're pinching in at the corners to try to take away any thought of a bunt.
Gerard gets a rare start. He went 1 for 2 in his last start. Combined numbers between Pittsburgh and the Sox, as Dyson's down 0-2 against Maeda. Oh, 2. See, that's that exploding changeup from Maeda.
When you take a look from the center field camera at everything he throws, you realize that he is almost incapable of throwing the ball straight. Yeah, there's not only movement away, but straight down almost. Looks like that might have been a splitter. I've had that kind of action to it where it just goes straight down at the end.
First base side, it flattens out, and Sano is on the case for round number 2. Hashtag Sox Files. Can you name this White Sox player or person or coach or manager? Only player with 40+ home runs for the White Sox and the Yankees. Same amount of career home runs as Ty Cobb and Ichiro. Last name is Italian for Easter.
Dan Pasqua.
I think you may have gotten it.
No.
I think you may have.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what gave it away. Maybe Italian for Easter. You know, I'm quadrilingual.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
That's a wild guess. Congratulations. I think. I mean, we'll find out if that's the correct answer. But based on the crew's reaction of saying like boom in my ear and things like that, I have to. Yeah, there it is. Wow.
Yeah, I've been hot lately.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I know veal parmesan and I know Italian for Easter. Apparently, those two.
What clue? What made you?
I have no idea.
Really? I mean, that's outstanding. To those of you who got to play for the 3 seconds that the answer was not listed for you, I hope you enjoyed it.
See, now I can mix Dan Pasqua in with George Bell on occasion.
You now have 2 stock answers. And life has just opened up for a young Steve Stone.
Just
wow.
Great. Yeah.
Great work.
I should have probably held that in abeyance.
Well, I appreciate Paulie Walnuts on Twitter just tweeted hashtag SoxMath Dan Pasqua. So he's in early for our 4th inning competition. You got to make sure you get your hashtags right. We have a couple of parlor games. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Madrigal against Maeda, who's given up only 1 hit. Buxton for out number 3. Who will be the comeback guy for the Sox today? Down a run. Will it be Dan Pasqua?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jimbo Mihaljevic, and as our beloved White Sox clinch a playoff berth, I want to send a special thank you out to the team, as well as you, Jason and Steve, providing night after night of joy and entertainment. I want to send a special shout out to my wife Beth and all the other teachers out there doing their best to provide the best learning experience possible to these kids during this difficult time of e-learning. Here's your next Sox math question, and go Sox.
That was as heartfelt of a message as we've gotten on Sox Math. I love that. Thanks to all the teachers. I agree with Jimbo. They're doing wonderful work. Sox Math presented by GMC. We are professional grade. There's your question. Triples Frank hit with the Sox multiplied by Ozzie home runs with the Sox plus years they played together minus the sum of the numbers in Chuck Garfine's high school graduation year. So it's a pre and post game themed Sox Math. We saw Ozzie and Frank in the studio together with Chuck the last couple of days. And we had to sneak Chuck in there. So if you know when he graduated from HF, you're in the money.
You sure he graduated?
I checked with him during the 2nd inning just to make sure what I saw online was right. By the way, happy birthday to another HF alumnus today. Randy Merkin is 50 years old today. Happy birthday to Randy Merkin.
There's a number of you graduates around, aren't there?
Yeah, it's true. That message comes from his brother Scott, who asked me to do that in lieu of a gift.
That's the best. Well, that's obviously the best thing you can do, because it's the least you could do.
I learned from the best. Ball and 2 strikes from Lopez to Polanco. Sox are down 1-0. A chance to clinch a playoff berth today, as you heard Jimbo mention, as that's a small piece by Polanco. It's been a fun series. Back and forth games. Last night the Twins took it 5-1, but tense moments all series long.
They've been pretty well played games. Sox would like to have a little more offense, but last night they were just handled by not only Odorizzi, who left early, but a fine Minnesota bullpen who just shut the door.
Strike three. Reynaldo Lopez, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 walk through 3 1/3.
Well, Ronaldo has looked really good, and he's mixing his pitches well. This is a backdoor slider. Doesn't exactly shave off the outside corner, but it's pretty close. And the man he walked last time goes down on strikes this time.
Look, we're 12 batters in, but Reynaldo Lopez has looked very much up to the task this afternoon.
He's having a really good day against a very difficult team to face.
Ball 1 to Nelson Cruz, who he struck out in the first. Gerard Dyson is there for out number 2.
This week we honor AT&T FirstNet frontline heroes. In the first surprise, an archdiocese was left speechless when A.J. Pierzynski popped on his screen. Visit NBCSportsChicago.com to see the special moment.
How about that? A.J. jumps in with a grand surprise. And A.J. will have the call, I'm told, on Saturday with the great Don Orsillo, as Steve and I have the day off, and Fox National will have the telecast of White Sox and Reds.
Don is taking time away from his partner, Mark Grant. He had a little texting exchange with Mark before the game today.
I thought you had a funny that you were going to say about Mark and
No.
taking time away from Mark and how everybody needs that or something.
No, Mark is a lovely fellow. Very funny. Also, he was a fellow San Francisco Giant organization guy.
You knew him back then, huh?
I did. I remember his first year when everybody was raving about, I don't know, he had like 1,000 strikeouts the first year, something like that. Maybe a little less, but it was pretty impressive.
Ball's tomahawked on the infield side at first. Abreu with the catch. 7 in a row retired by Lopez since the Buxton home run.
As we take a look at Tim Anderson over the last 162 games. Pretty impressive numbers penciled out over a full season, assuming you're going to play all the games. 229 hits, 26 home runs, up an on base percentage of .371, slugging .530. So when you pencil it out, you hit .345 overall, you're liable to win a batting title or 2. He won last year, and he's in a tough battle with DJ LeMahieu this year.
I mean, those are routine all-star caliber numbers. If you can keep them up, you're going to be one of the greats to wear a White Sox uniform. Tim Anderson is Maeda with a majestic preparation to throw that pitch, and then ball 1.
A lot of room in right center field if Maeda stays away from Tim.
Left-hand side. Buxton comes in, says, I got it. Rosario peels off, and 1 gone.
That's a problem. That slider is designed to get you out in front. That's what Tim did. Instead of going with it to right field, it's easy to say, difficult to do, but you get out front, you can't get much in the swing. And he lifted a soft fly ball to left center. You watch the pitch, it's in a perfect spot. It's out away, and Tim goes out to get it, but tries to pull it.
First pitch Ball 1 to Grandal, who's the only base runner for the Sox so far today. That was a base hit up the middle in the first. Kenta Maeda is having a quieter appearance than his first one. Remember, he was like filling the ballpark with sound effects as he was throwing. He was a 100 decibel grunter.
Yeah, not quite as grunty today. Maybe it's the fact that it's a day game after a night game, or he might have been grunted out from his last performance.
Could have been. All great points, all good options. 2 balls and a strike on Grandal.
I think just about every 2-0 pitch he throws either a cutter or a slider. He tries to throw it in the middle of the plate, and because it's spinning, the guys lay off and he buys himself a cheap strike.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really put himself in bad positions.
No, every pitch that he misses with is close enough where you could make a case to swing at it.
3-1, nice catch by Jeffers, who's been very good buying strikes at the bottom of the zone.
This was well received. This was another cutter, and
he was moving up already before the ball hit his glove.
I think that's the art of framing on pitches down.
And that's strike 3. Maeda comes back for his 5th strikeout. All right, time for our Geico Make It Easy profile and the MVP case for Jose Abreu. He's the league leader in hits and runs driven in. He's 3rd in runs scored, slugging percentage, and OPS. They're all top 5. And the question is, who has the better final 10 days, him or Tim Anderson? And how much does Mike Trout get the benefit of being amazing yet again? And how much is he hurt by, number 1, the Angels not being very good, and number 2, the old hat nature of him just always being so good that you feel like you want to spread the wealth?
Well, there's another guy you can't leave out, and that is Nelson Cruz. I mean, obviously, it's tough to win the MVP as a designated hitter, but he's hitting .321, 16 and 32 on the power numbers. All things considered, he's the engine that makes this team run and has for a couple of years now. So he's going to get his votes.
Strike 1 on Jose. Who would you pick right now?
Tim Anderson.
You would?
Yeah.
That's what I said this morning to Buster Olney on his podcast too.
I would pick him because of the totality of his game. And understand, it doesn't diminish anything Jose has done, because maybe Jose does win it. I'm happy if either guy wins it, as long as they're wearing a White Sox uniform. But I look at everything Tim does as the catalyst for this team. The guy at the top who is knocking at the door, leading the league for the 2nd year in a row. We've taken into consideration only what he does this year. But when he gets on to lead off an inning, he finds a way to score. Plus defensively and stolen bases. I mean, he's gotten much better defensively. And you factor in stolen bases and things that he does, he's in the right place. And one of the things that goes unnoticed is his ability on cutoff throws. You know, everybody talks about, well, you're going to run on the left fielder because he doesn't have an arm. You're going to run on the center fielder, whatever the case may be. But it's the cutoff man who you're really running at. And when that cutoff man is in the right spot and has a strong arm, he's going to cut down a lot of would-be base runners.
And to your point on Jose Abreu, if Tim wins it, Jose's in 2nd place. I mean, Jose Abreu could very easily win that award and would be a very rightful winner of that award. It is a coin flip basically between those two, but long term, what Jose has meant to this club as a rock, as an anchor, is completely invaluable to this franchise. And we're seeing it this year in the way he's playing now, surrounded by more talent.
And he just almost tied up the ball game because he got one of those cutters right over the middle of the plate. He delivered the only run last night. He just missed another there. That's going to be another one of these little sliders.
That hung around. Jose hits it in the air, left center field, way back there, and gone! He did tie the game. Jose Abreu's case grows for MVP, and it's 1-1.
Maeda shaking his head because he made the pitch last pitch that should have gone out of the ballpark. He made the same pitch, this pitch, and it did go out of the ballpark. So Jose missed one, our fourth home run replay. This time he doesn't. And this game suddenly is tied at 1. A slider that doesn't slide. 2 mistakes in a row, the second of which was home run number 17 as Buxton goes up as far as he could go. And what a leap he made. This is just exquisite timing by Buxton. He went as high up as he could go on the wall, and this one disappears.
Maeda says, unbelievable. I had him 3-2. I had 2 strikes. You have got to wait until the very last moment on a ball that Buxton is even within sniffing distance of, because he almost pulled that back on Jose and had 0 business doing it.
Well, he did that in Minneapolis with Encarnacion, which helped turn a ball game around. This time was a little too long for him. But it's just wonderful to watch a couple of guys, one in Anderson, one in Abreu, literally at the top of their games at the same time with the Sox team doing what they've done this year. Just a pleasure day in and day out to see these guys compete with one another for the big prize of the MVP.
I just have to say to people watching who are diehard Sox fans, and we have so many of them, people have been watching night in, night out, watching this team for fun and for joy in a tough year. Enjoy the fact, Sox fans, that you can call your friends and debate which Sox player deserves to be the MVP. Enjoy that. Take it in.
I mean, how many times in your Sox fandom are you going to see that?
How many times in any team's fandom are you going to have 2 contenders for the most valuable player award in any season in any league?
It's very impressive what this team has done. Very impressive what those 2 players have done. So the question is for Maeda, after going to the well with a couple of sliders 3-2, does he go back to it?
He was so irritated by that last one. I would bet no.
Fastball away.
Eloy had a pretty good pitch to hit there. It did drift slightly in on his hands, and it's foul for 3-2.
It's a couple of fastballs now that Jeffers called. He wanted them away, and Maeda has missed. Fortunately for him, he's missed inside far enough.
Little piece of it. Eloy stays alive, and there was that slider.
This one was down. However, it identified as a fastball, then just dove out of the zone.
I mean, look at where this at bat has lived. We told you he pitches down. The most elevated pitch is almost in the bottom third of the strike zone. That one was up, and Eloy missed it for strike 3. Jose Abreu did not miss. Possible MVP, we'll find out in a week and a half, but Jose drops the head of the bat and gets rid of that Minnesota lead. Sox clinch a playoff spot with a win. Yeah, they do, Kenta. Sox clinch a playoff spot with a win.
Is the ultimate hub for all things sports, all in one place with the Xfinity Sports Zone. Everybody wins. You win, I win, we all win.
That's everybody? The 2 of us?
Pretty much.
Other people?
Well, in the booth anyway, except for Joe Grube.
Is that his new first name? Except for? Thought it was Mark. Miguel Sano here in the 5th inning. We are tied at 1, and credit Reynaldo Lopez for keeping the Sox right in this game to allow for the home run for Abreu. Just one hit for Minnesota, the home run for Byron Buxton.
Be nice to shut him down this inning after your team tied it up, then turn it over to the offense once again. I'm not sure what he did with that last fastball, but it was a good 3 or 4 miles an hour slower than the others he's thrown.
That's a strike. A changeup and a high one to Miguel Sano. Clobbered foul. He hits screaming foul balls. Miguel Sano does.
Well, you love the fact that he's out in front of it. And that's what a changeup is designed to do. If you don't miss it, you want him to turn the head of the bat over and just yank it foul as far and as hard as he wants.
And I get that. It still makes you cringe, though.
Yep. It was a little better. He wanted it just a touch higher. So you look at what's happened this year. He's not only a very powerful hitter, but he's actually getting better.
But look at how hitters have grown in intelligence on how to put bat to ball. He was in the 95th percentile in baseball with those percentages for barrels in the teens in 2016 and 2017. So baseball has gotten better at hitting the ball in the right spot on the bat at the right angle at the hardest exit velocity possible. Batters are much more sophisticated, is what those numbers tell you.
And with it, many more home runs.
Upstairs, strike 3, fluttering through the breeze. So Byron Buxton is the guy who's provided the only offense for Minnesota. Second inning, it was an 8-pitch at bat, and you see the one in the red was the home run ball, and it was in the strike zone in a big way. .103 off the bat.
I would say he hit it pretty far, and he got the pitch. Finally, he got the mistake he was looking for the entire at bat.
When he was up last time, you talked about focus of pitchers. How do you remind yourself in a long at bat to stay locked in, other than the triangle?
But it's just a question of you're not thinking of anything. I mean, you are literally thinking of exactly where you want to throw whatever pitch that you can throw with conviction. Nothing else enters your mind.
He did it again.
Yeah, he did.
Byron Buxton gives the Twins the lead right back. It is 2-1 on a golf shot to left.
Well, Ronaldo got a strike out of Sano, but it was a very bad slider. This was a bad slider, and Buxton is swinging it too well to make a mistake like this. This one he crushed. Exit velocity almost 110 miles an hour. Watch it again. Ford home run replay. You see the slider right over the middle of the plate. Buxton's been swinging it too well to get away with that. So the last couple of sliders from Ronaldo were not good ones, and the second of which makes him pay. Twins retake the lead.
Byron Buxton has swung the best bat in this series for Minnesota, and frankly, it's not even close.
Well, by far, he's been on just about everything. That's 12 home runs. He's driven in 24 this year.
Strike one to Marwin Gonzalez, who, before he was scratched from that first game, had come into this series with a home run in back-to-back games. So his power is starting to stoke before this series began. 0-2 on Gonzalez.
Pretty easy to be happy when you're swinging the bat the way he is for an extended period of time.
So Kenta Maeda given a reprieve after A wayward slider on 3-2 to Abreu.
It is very typical of these two teams. 3 runs scored this afternoon, all via the long ball.
Tim to the right at second, scored 6-3. Here's your GMC Sox Math winner. We are professional grade. Frank had 11 triples with the Sox. Ozzie had 24 home runs with the Sox. 8 years they played together. Minus 27, Chuck Garfien, a 1989 Homewood Flossmoor High School alumnus. Mike Ganella, one of our previous champions, gets the win today. We haven't seen Mike win much this year. He keeps coming in second and third. Now he'll get to do a video to introduce Sox Math tomorrow when the Sox are in Cincinnati. 2 out, strike 1 to Jeffers, who struck out looking in the third. Into center field, Jeffers has a single. Hey, look, a hit that's not a home run from these two teams. That's number 2 of those today.
3 out of 5 have gone out of the ballpark. This one just goes right back up the middle.
I feel like we're going to be seeing Jeffers for a while. He's a very talented young catcher.
Yeah, to me, he seems like their most likely candidate for #1 at this point by a fairly wide margin. I think he handles pitchers well. We've seen him with very good swings. He doesn't appear overmatched on anything. So you're hitting 280 or a little bit higher than that, you're getting the job done as an everyday catcher.
He's a former walk-on at UNC Wilmington. He was a Seahawk in Wilmington, North Carolina, and turned himself into a major league catcher at age 23. Jeffers, who's at first. Skyward to center. Robert squeezes out number 3, but Minnesota retakes the lead, trying to stand in the way of a Sox playoff berth clinch. Experience the all-inclusive guaranteed rate club in 2021. This private club includes in-seat service, parking, and unlimited food and beverage. Ticket packages start at 20 games, include flexible payment plans, and postseason options. For more information, call or text 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. First pitch, strike 1 to Edwin, who Maeda pitched away almost exclusively in the second inning to a strikeout.
I assume that if he goes in at all, it'll just be a show me pitch. He wants to get him out away. That was well received. It was off the plate, but a good try by Jeffers.
Edwin hits it in the air, left field, well struck. This ball game is tied.
Maeda missed right over the middle of the plate. Now he's given up 8 home runs. The parrot has come out, accompanying Edwin around the bases. And just like that, yet another long ball. 100 miles an hour, it departed the ballpark. And watch it again. 4th home run replay. There's a slider that stays right in the middle of the plate. Reminiscent, and Edwin knows it's gone right away. When you hit as many as he has, you got no doubt when you get him. And he had no doubt that he got it.
Well, and you don't need the bat anymore, so why carry it with you for much more than 2 steps? Put the parrot on the arm. Maeda goes through the follow through one more time to try to replicate it and take the run off the board. That rarely works, and there's ball 1 to Moncada.
These are 2 heavyweights going head to head, both landing a couple of haymakers.
For anyone wondering at the beginning of this series how the Sox matched up with the Twins, the answer is toe to toe.
There was a lot of distance between the 2 teams last year, but not near as much this year.
1-2 to Moncada off the post. I thought the pitch pipe was loud in your living room.
Yeah, not quite as devastating as when you take it off the post in a hockey game, but it was off the post nonetheless.
I hope Pat Foley's watching the game and just yelled as that ball hit the pipe.
Eddie's a big fan. He's probably looking on.
He was doing a game while we were on talking about him the other day. He was doing a hockey game. Maybe he's watching today as Moncada rings it foul. They are 2 of the best in hockey. Pat and Edzo together.
That went off the foot of Moncada. Take another look. Ooh, that's not good.
Kenta Maeda, we told you about the ground balls he throws. This is just the 2nd time all year he's allowed more than 1 home run in a game.
I just wish he'd have walked somebody ahead of him, but because he doesn't walk very many people, and today he's walked nobody, you're gonna have to produce your own runs.
Foul ball by Yoan, still 2-2.
That last pitch showed you that he's not quite where he wants to be, because that was very hittable. It was just above the knee in the middle of the plate. But watch the location. I mean, this is right there, very hittable. Yoan just has not bounced back this year. COVID-19 hurt him, and then some sore legs have bothered him.
Strike 3, 1 gone.
Follow our Sox insider Adam Hogue at NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com. Because Nationwide is on your side. You know, day game after a night game, sometimes you're a little behind, just a touch behind the fastball in front of the slider.
Yeah, and sometimes you're flat.
Well, always that.
But the good part is neither of us would think about blaming the other for timing or pitch.
No,
in any way.
Are you kidding? Far be it from us.
How dare us?
It's tough to blame it on anybody else. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, we have no scapegoats.
We could blame it on the Vuk.
We could. Poor Jeff. Jeff's just sitting there with his name on the thing, and he's got to endure this every night. We like Jeff a lot. Is he a smaller guy?
No,
I don't remember.
No, he's like Jeff the Giant from Canada, except bigger.
2 balls, no strikes on Luis Robert. A word on Moncada as well. You mentioned that he dealt with the COVID-19 diagnosis, and Rick Hahn was talking about him the other day. He said, look, this is a world-class athlete who is still feeling the effects of everything that he went through medically with COVID-19. And Rick talked about the inner strength and the fortitude of Moncada to give even what he's given this year, which it's not the same power numbers certainly, but he's been on the field most days and has still put together at bats that are more than competitive. He had 3 walks the other day, still gets on base, and you hope for his sake that he gets himself back to normal as Robert goes down swinging.
Well, he's also a plus defensively. Johan's played a very good third base. The bat isn't near where he would want it to be, but the defense is.
Two down, Gerard Dyson. Ground ball wide at first. That's where Dyson went out his first time up. Sox fans, FanDuel Paradise Sportsbook, America's #1 sports betting app and an official sports betting partner of your Chicago White Sox, is officially live in Illinois. To get in on the action, download the FanDuel Paradise Sportsbook app now and place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the White Sox. Ball one. Should play Barry Manilow's. Looks like we made it. And I finished that before a pitch.
It's a lot of words.
That's a dart over first for Gerard Dyson. Kepler got there quickly. Dyson 1 for 2.
This is a slider that made a miss with, and he's starting to miss more with the sliders. That's a good sign.
Look, Gerard Dyson's got a decade plus now in Major League Baseball. Came up through the Royals system. He's 36 years old and one of those guys on the bench you can use as a defensive replacement. He'll give you a quality at bat still, certainly.
Get you a stolen base late if you need it. I mean, that's kind of the art of putting rosters together, is taking a look around, see who's available, see who might be designated, or maybe you can pick up, not going to cost you a whole lot in players or money, and then add them to your team. Will they make them 5% better? No, but if they make them a 0.5% better, you're a better team after the acquisition. That's the case with Dyson. I mean, he can do a lot of things for you, and everybody would like a player that has that skill set. 4 for 4 this year, 254 overall, plus gets him in the outfield and occasionally puts the bat on the ball.
No, sir. 2 balls, no strikes. Now we're getting toward 80 pitches for Kenta Maeda, so it becomes less and less likely that he makes it through something like 8 in this game. Early on, it looked like he might go complete game this Thursday afternoon.
Last night, Stashek, Duffy, and May, and it was a great threesome when Odorizzi left with 2 outs in the 4th inning.
There goes Dyson. Throw to second is not close. And Gerard Dyson now at second base for Madrigal.
Maeda just took his eye off Dyson, concentrating very much on his 2-0 pitch. And he got a running start. No chance at all for Jeffers. I mean, he tries to throw it from his knees, but this is pretty much a straight steal. So on that sign from Nick Capra and Ricky Renteria, it's you take off, don't even look back for contact, because Nick, up 2-0, is not swinging at it, and he never looked back. Straight steal time, and it worked well.
Gerard Dyson's 6th active in Major League Baseball in stolen bases, 1 behind Altuve, as Madrigal caught a piece of that, and it's 2-2. D. Gordon is number 1, Elvis Andrus 2, Billy Hamilton 3, then Brett Gardner, Altuve, and that man Gerard Dyson in active stolen base leaders.
This could be an interesting confrontation between the arm of Kepler and the speed of Dyson, if Nick can take it to right.
Little brush to shortstop. Polanco on the charge. Gotta hurry. Save! Nick beat it out down the line. Nicky 2 strikes. Fleet of foot down that first base side.
I think they're going to want to take a look at this and see there's nothing to lose at this point by waiting to see if he made it. Nicky hustling down the line, and I mean, he got there quickly.
I think he's safe. Tie goes to the runner.
Well, he is safe, but I'm telling you, it's bang bang, and they're going to want to take a look at it. Maybe they'll get the benefit of the call. Polanco did as well as he could do here. Maybe a slight juggle, but it looked to me like a pretty good call by Angel Hernandez, and if it is, it'll keep the inning alive for Tim Anderson.
Your question is, when is the ball in the glove? Watch the ball and watch the foot, and he goes to the front of the bag. They're going to have to match these two up because that's your best look at the foot, and the best look at the ball is from the other angle there. So watch the foot and we'll freeze it right. Yep. I mean, the ball, roll it back maybe a frame or two. It looks like the front part of his foot is on the bag. You think he's out? You're cringing.
Yeah, I'm not tremendously confident in this, but it could very well be there's not enough definitive proof to overturn because a call on the field is safe. I like to see when it's going to be a bang bang play, when a guy can really run, I like to see him hit the front of the bag with the front of his foot. This time he didn't hit the front of the bag with the front of his foot.
Watch, these are matched, same time, same moment.
Yeah, to me they got him.
And they're going to say safe.
Well, no definitive proof, and the inning goes along, and you couldn't have a better man up than Tim Anderson.
Nick Madrigal, more than half of his hits in Major League Baseball have come with 2 strikes.
It's pretty amazing what he does just by making contact, putting the bat on the ball, forcing a defensive play against him, and keeping the inning alive. Plenty of speed on the bases.
Madrigal at first, Dyson at third, Tim Anderson against Maeda, who sends in strike 1.
So he goes first ball fastball, and you think there's going to be a breaky here. I'm thinking somewhere along the line, if you send Madrigal, Jeffers would not throw through with Dyson at third.
0-2. It was a changeup down and out.
Well, if you're going to send him, this is the play. You got Tim down 2 strikes, and you got to figure Maeda is not going to want to throw him a strike.
Tim's been trying to think like Maeda all day long, and Maeda has had the best of him on a ground ball and a fly ball. See if Madrigal goes from first. He does not, and a ball in the dirt, stonewalled by Jeffers.
I mean, you know he's going out of the strike zone with that, and it was a good job by Jeffers, but he couldn't have gotten Nick at second base. That was his change. He steered it across the plate, and a fine job of sliding out on the right shin guard and getting his body in front.
There goes Nick. Tim, a ground ball to third. It's Donaldson in a hurry, and Donaldson does get the out as Sano sweeps it away. The Sox strand 2, but get one right on back. Edwin Encarnacion to left field. Sox win and clinch a playoff spot. This has been an outstanding series. The Parrot is here.
Presented by First Midwest Bank. And Ronaldo Lopez has been very good today, limiting this powerful lineup to just 2 runs, limiting the lineup to nothing, and Byron Buxton to 2 runs. So all things considered, it's been a great day. The bullpen is up and going. Ronaldo probably on a short string, but through 5, those are really good numbers. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk against a very, very strong and power-laden Twin lineup.
Donaldson first. His former teammate Edwin Encarnacion just tied the game for the Sox. Those two together in Toronto back in 2015 combined for about 80 home runs in the same lineup.
It seemed like Donaldson hit 80 against us, and most of them were to right center field.
It's outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Very tough pitch to deliver to Donaldson, who has not had a great series, but he's very dangerous, especially when he's ahead of the pitcher.
That's a strike, 2-1, a much needed strike, and Donaldson's not going to like it.
Well, he can't believe it, first of all. He says, I'm asking you if it was called or if I swung, or you thought I swung.
He's really giving it to Dan Bellino.
Yep, but Dan's giving it right back. And now Dan is hearing it from Rocco, who has already been ejected from one of these games for arguing balls and strikes or trying to protect Nelson Cruz. And look, what Rocco wants to do here, he wants to protect Donaldson, so he wants to put the emphasis on him and take it away from Josh Donaldson. They can live without Rocco, but they want Donaldson in the lineup.
You always hear you can't argue balls and strikes, but Dan gave him some leeway there. Donaldson to left field, and he sends it out of here. So Minnesota has retaken the lead again on another solo home run.
Yeah, we said when he's ahead of the pitcher, he is really tough. And another home run, 106.6 miles an hour, and
oh yeah, Josh Donaldson just kicked dirt as he came across the plate, and Dan Bellino ran him on the way by. He kicked dirt at Dan Bellino, and he got thrown out, and rightfully so. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's out of the in the file of really dumb things that players do. That's right up there.
It's absolutely ejectable. He leaves home plate happy, and then he leaves the ball game after that.
Ford home run replay. That one wasn't a particularly good fastball. He tried to get it inside, and Donaldson hits it out. And of course, he forgot the don't walk away in anger philosophy. Yeah, that's
yeah, I mean,
that's not bright, because his team needs him, and now they don't have it. And what, to prove what point exactly?
Yeah, you took the lead. I mean, good for you, right? See ya. It's been fun. Ball and no strikes on Jorge Polanco. Two balls, no strikes.
Yeah, right now Ronaldo is not throwing near like he threw before, so you can't let him get into the deep water here. You're down a run. Tough enough against Maeda and a tough bullpen.
Well, let's be honest, there's a tax on pitchers third time through the order anyway, so this was going to be a difficult inning in the first place with Donaldson, Polanco, and Cruz.
Jimmy Cordero.
He really aired it out there. Polanco did. And this to Robert in center. You know, the thing that's amazing about the Donaldson deal, just to go back to it for a second, is Dan Bellino gave him some leeway. He let him jaw at him at the plate, and then he kicked dirt at him on the way by.
Yeah, that's not great. And Ricky Renteria comes out. That's going to be it for Ronaldo. He will depart after giving up 3 home runs, trailing by a run. All in all, not a bad job.
You want home runs? We got home runs for you. Buxton's first one in the second inning, and I said first one, which means probably he's going to hit a second one at some point during the highlight package. Sorry to ruin it for you. Abreu beyond Buxton in center field. At that point, tied at 1. Then, there it is. Buxton made it to 1 Minnesota, but not for long.
That was foreshadowing. And Edwin ties up the game at 2. But it wouldn't stay tied for long, unfortunately. Mayotte is still shaking his head. Donaldson not. Takes it down the line and takes it out of the park. And then, oh. Yeah, at that point, get your money's worth, but the point proven? None. Time now for a Lakeside Bank call to the pen. Lakeside Bank, it's about time, and Jimmy Cordero on for the 25th time. ERA a touch over 5. Look at some pretty decent numbers overall in the strikeout to innings ratio.
I was going to say Jimmy is going to be a branch manager at Lakeside Bank before the season's over.
He's been called on a lot.
I mean, in addition to his baseball work, of course. I'm not foreshadowing a future career when baseball's over for Jimmy Cordero, but this is 4 games in the last 6 he's pitched.
Yeah, when he works, he keeps on working.
2 strikes on Nelson Cruz. Sox in the home 6th will have Grandal, Abreu, and Eloy Jimenez. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 2 gone.
Lance Briggs, Alex Brown, and Olin Kreutz, along with host David Kaplan, are back in action for Sunday on the Football After Show, presented by St. Xavier University. That's Sunday, immediately following the Bears-Giants game on NBC Sports Chicago Plus. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like we've been behind mostly and never ahead. Tied a couple times, have never taken the lead.
Not just you, but there's still time.
There is time.
Time takes time, you know.
Chambers Brothers movie song, very good.
I know it from Ben Folds, but one's more contemporary.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, yes, my musical education was done in the 60s.
Well, you knew Tchaikovsky, so.
I did. We were tight.
Yeah?
Yeah. In fact, I was the one who suggested the cannons.
You were considered the first consultant in world history. 6 home runs allowed by the Sox last 2 games. 3 in the 10 games prior. This is a major ground ball throwing staff for the Sox this year, so this has been a rarity that the home run ball's flying like it has, but Minnesota will create that.
All 5 runs last night were home runs, and all 3 today were home runs.
In the air to left and down for a hit on 2 strikes. Rosario against Cordero. The Sox still have allowed the fewest home runs in Major League Baseball. Even with the barrage from the Twins the last couple days. Miguel Sano. A couple of strikeouts against Reynaldo Lopez, who did have a very nice day today. 5 1/3, 3 earned runs. Overall 4 hits allowed.
Only the 1 walk. That was good.
Tim Short makes the catch, and that'll do it. But the Twins keep reacting, usually with home runs, sometimes with irritation, and sometimes with their voices, and sometimes with their bats, and sometimes with dirt. One is a good idea, the other one sends you packing. The big story presented by Kia. It's the playoff picture in the American League. White Sox have the best record in the AL as it stands by a game over Tampa Bay, 1.5 over the A's. And so the Sox right now would be the 1 seed, and they would take on the 8 seed. That is the Cleveland Indians, who are the second wild card team as it stands right now, 6 games out of first place. Some intriguing series there. Oh, look, the Twins and Yankees would get together once again if the playoffs started today.
They probably want to avoid that if they have a choice. And Matt Whistler comes in on for the 15th time, and the ERA very good at 123. You can pretty much take it to the bank. You're going to see sliders. Left-handers hitting 0.38. Adrianza comes in to play third.
First pitch, ball 1. Strength of schedule remaining for all 3 teams in contention in the AL Central. Twins have the second toughest schedule. Sox have the toughest, playing Cincinnati, a team that's getting stronger by the day over the weekend. And the Sox will have that 4 with Cleveland and 3 with the Cubs in 2 huge series next week. Sad to see Maeda go.
He had another good day today. Gave up a couple of home runs. Didn't walk anybody. Fanning 8 in 5.
So that's a no.
Yeah, I just as soon see him depart the ball game.
Another baseball that's not far from our high home cameraman Mike Meyer.
Just underneath.
A third fish story possibly on the horizon. One and 2 for Grandal. Yasmani hits a rocket down the right field line and welcomes Whistler into the ball game. Grandal a leadoff double, and the Sox down a run are in business in the 6th.
Well, out of all the sliders that at bat, that was the first one that hung up in the zone, and Yasmani just crushed it. He had swung at 2 sliders knee high, but this one was a whole lot higher. This was belt high, and he drills it into the corner and then realizes it's going to take Kepler time to get there. So he runs it into a 2-base hit. That is the tying run.
Five-pitch at bat. Grandal doubles. And now Jose Abreu, who homered in the 4th, with a chance to tie the game or more. First pitch, strike 1.
It's a pretty tough pitch to go get, and Jose knows if he's going to see all of those, he's going to try to punch it through the right side. Sano is the only one home. He is well off the line at first. Gonzalez is playing on the 3rd base side, right behind Yasmani.
For a while there, he was actually closer to the bag than Grandal was.
Well, a lot of base runners want to take their lead and take it deep toward the outfield. And the reason is you don't look like the lead is as far to the pitcher.
1 ball, 1 strike. You get the feeling that nothing's getting by Jeffers.
No, he's been really good because he gets low. He puts the glove right where he has to put it, which is between his legs on the ground, and then he angles his body so if it does come up, it doesn't bound away far enough to move.
Upstairs, 2-1.
Well, that's to show him he'll go inside. He's going to stay away with sliders. I think that's just a show me pitch to try to expand that outside corner. Remember, Jose really dislikes getting fastballs up and in.
How much does he dislike it?
Well,
Steve?
normally when he does something that reminds the pitcher maybe you don't want to go up there too often.
Up 3 balls and a strike.
See, that lead is straight back. Doesn't look like much of a lead, and then he'll come in even with the bag because you want a direct line to third base.
He did not give Jose anything to hit. Ball 4. Sox have 2 on, nobody out in the 6th.
So last night was a lot different because the Sox only had 2 hits, 1 in the first, 1 in the 4th. But normally this is starting to be the Sox time of the game where they begin to take the game away from the folks they're playing. And they usually do it from the 6th inning on. Golden opportunity here, 2 out, nobody on.
Eloy Jimenez had 3 hits the first 3 games of this series. He's 0 for 2 today. First pitch, a strike, edge of the zone on a slider, 0-1. You can tell Eloy wants to drive in at least 1 run right now.
Yeah, that was in off the plate. I mean, it wasn't a strike, but he saw it there thinking maybe he can take it down the left field line.
Two. And the dirt pocketed by Jeffers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sox with a win would clinch a playoff berth. Question is, what day is it going to happen? It would take a truly remarkable set of circumstances for the clinch not to happen this weekend.
It would just be really nice to win this ball game.
Off the plate, 2-2 on Eloy Jimenez, because if you win this game you would be 3 up on Minnesota and the Sox would have the tiebreaker over the Twins. This essentially counts for 2.
Yeah, but it's 4 back in the loss column, which is really important, and to have the tiebreaker. Be a happy trip to Cincinnati.
Ooh, strike 3, 1 gone.
Time now for the Illinois Department of Transportation safe drive of the game. And that is Edwin. Ties the game at 2. Maeda doesn't give up 2 home runs in the same game too often, but he did here this afternoon.
So Edwin. Takes ball number 1. I mean, he crushed that baseball in the 5th.
You get a hanging slider, and Whistler throws a lot of sliders.
And he tucked in a fastball. I mean, it's a fastball as a change of pace.
Not overpowering, but that was in a good spot. Trevor May, who we saw last night, throwing in the pen. He pitched an inning and fanned all 3 men.
Tried the same pitch and missed. 2-1. He really does throw fastballs to set up his slider.
Yeah. Yes, he does. 423. Third on the active list.
Edwin was talking to Jeffers. Now Jeffers is going to go out to the mound and talk to Whistler. Now if somebody else comes out to the mound to talk to Jeffers, that would be quite the run of conversation.
Jeffers has a big smile on his face. Maybe Edwin suggested you throw one more fastball on the inside part of the plate.
Go tell him. Edwin was talking directly to the catcher.
Yes, he was.
And then he went out to talk to Whistler. Two one. A little 3/4 swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, if the message was throw another fastball, it was returned to sender.
Yeah, no, that wasn't. There was really never a chance he was going to throw a fastball there.
Watch. After that, Edwin turns to him and says, "Okay, I know what you're doing."
I think he said slider.
Yeah, I think he.
I think he said yeah.
Yep.
Well, he got it.
Oh, and he hit him.
Edwin, I don't think he threw at you, pal.
No.
Might as well just go to first base and not worry about it.
Well, I mean, if Edwin even took up a little space in the mind of the battery there, it's terrifically done. And the bases are now loaded for the Sox in the 6th. Edwin doesn't think anything about this is terrific except for the base,
No.
but he'll take it.
Yeah, that's a painful way to get aboard, but he got him. And now, yeah, Edwin at first says, well, then he thinks, you know what? I don't think he really would throw at me to load the bases up in this situation.
Wasn't that interesting? I mean,
Yeah.
he was asking for the slider.
He was. I'm sure he didn't say, why don't you throw the slider and then hit me with a fastball.
Well, now the plot thickens. Minnesota with the bases loaded around Whistler. And May warming up. Going to make a change.
Yeah, it's going to be May coming in. Whistler will depart. The game on the line for Trevor May.
Sox Charities presents this year's ultimate auction. Add to your collection by bidding on unique, one-of-a-kind game-used memorabilia from Jose Abreu, Lucas Giolito, Luis Robert, and more. The auction concludes tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time. Visit whitesox.com/ultimate auction to view items.
Lakeside Bank called to the pen as Trevor May on for the 20th time. You see 31 strikeouts in 19 innings. That's what Rocco Baldelli was thinking about. It hasn't been a great year for Yoan Moncada. A couple of strikeouts, but everything turns around right here with a key base hit. It's probably going to be on a high fastball.
First pitch, a strike. Fastball at 96.
Career with the bases loaded for Yoan has been very good. Love to get these runs before the shadows start creeping across home plate.
And 2 on Moncada. Still looking for his first hit in this series.
Out of the strike zone, but it looked good long enough.
Fastball, strike 3. It was right down the middle. Yoan was looking for something else.
Old saying in baseball, you can never look for something you can't hit. You got to look number one, because if you're not, he's going to freeze you with something in the middle of the plate.
And so now it's up to the Rookie of the Year candidate, Luis Robert. First pitch swung through a fastball, 0-1.
Mays at 97. He's faced 4 guys in this series. He's fanned all 4.
Oh, 2.
He just throwing it right by him.
Rondal Abreu Encarnacion on a double, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Luis tags it to left field, but Rosario gets over there and makes the catch. End of the bad shot, and that is all. We'll go to the 7th. Twins still lead. That man has provided most of the thunder today for Minnesota. Here are the home runs. StatCast 3D, exit velocity all over 100 miles an hour. Hardest hit baseball, Buxton's second one that went to left field. And Minnesota has a 3-2 lead thanks to surviving a traffic jam in the home 6th.
Cody Hoyer comes into this one out for the 17th time. His ERA a touch over 2. Been pretty good this year, and this his inaugural season. Probably shown enough stuff to certainly be considered for the back end. Right-handers hitting 103. So he's got a tough matchup with Buxton.
Long at bat first time for Buxton. Then he waylaid a ball early in the count in the 5th against Lopez. And he went to go get that pitch as well on a high sinker, strike 1. Active inside the park home run leaders. 3, and then everybody else has 2.
See Real Muto on there, a catcher having 2 is pretty good, and Edwin with 2.
Why is Edwin on there?
Oh, the outfielders must have collapsed.
They were nearly 11 years apart, not in how long it took him to round the bases. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we showed you the Canerco slide yesterday from the Trop. Paulie was busting it. Left center, another base hit. Robert up with it, Buxton to first, and the question is, will he go at some point in this sequence?
Oh, I don't think that's a question at all.
Well, I asked it as a question.
Yeah, he's going. He's going to go somewhere, and you can't throw him inside and down because he's just strong enough and quick enough now to muscle that ball into the outfield. 3 hits today. What a series he's had.
Buxton 7 for 16 in the series. First pitch, ball 1 to Marwin Gonzalez. Here's how you loosen up as you go into the batter's box. You swing at your own gum. That is both nimble and gross.
It is, however, the lively gum era.
What's the best gum to throw a curve gum with?
I don't know. But I do know that this is a really good double play combination if you can throw the ground ball before Buxton goes.
He's leaning into his lead right now. He does not go. And Marwin Gonzalez hits a towering fly ball to right and Gerard Dyson territory for out number 1. Buxton at first looks like a track star the way he leans into that lead.
Well, he's probably as fast as just about any track star. Have a nice conversation with Jose. Steve Cishek loosening up.
Here's Jeffers. And a wave and a miss. Strike 1 on a slider from Cody Hoyer.
Should bottle that last slider because nobody's hitting that one. That was a good one.
So gum as baseball and then a bottle of sliders. 84%, 86%. You see him lean into that lead over at first, and Buxton will not go yet. Robert on the case in center, fading back, and he dropped the ball. It's to the wall, so Buxton's on his way to third. They're going to wave him around. Sox got a shot at him. Buxton is out. Great catch by Grandal. That is a whale of a pick by Yasmani Grandal as the Twins tried to press the issue, and the Sox get out number 2 anyway. Great catch.
This turns out to be just a wonderful play, and Buxton never stopped. This is a high slider. This is an easy play, and you take anything for granted in this game and it's going to jump up and bite you. Nice pick, and then he goes out to get him on the tag. The relay throw home was pretty good, and here's Buxton. He's going to put the pressure on the defense. I mean, that's just an outstanding pick by Yasmani Grandal. That's an outstanding play all the way around except for the initial catch.
So now runner at second, 2 out, and Max Kepler will bat. Watch this again at the slide and the pick. Grandal got in front to shield the path. Cody's got the call. That was a madcap second out, that's for sure. Kepler brushed it foul. Watch Grandal's footwork here.
But once he gets the ball, you can step across the plate. So he's got the ball now.
That's a first look where I don't know that he got him.
Yeah, it looks to me like the hand had a good piece of the plate.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
0-2, strike 3, inning over. How about that? Cody Hoyer responds nicely. Sox down a run when we come back.
Get to the ball game.
Take me out to the crowd.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
I don't care if I ever get back. Orange root for the White Sox. They don't win, it's a shame.
For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Out at the old ball game.
Tyler Clippard comes into this one out for the 21st time. His ERA a good one at 2.14. Last time we saw him, he was throwing more fastballs than normal, but he's got a great straight change. That's how he is still around. Opponent's just hitting .211. That's a good number. He's only given up 2 home runs. And his ball club has a 1-run lead. Bottom of the order to face him.
Clippard, first pitch, another soft catch on a strike by Jeffers. He has been outstanding at receiving the ball in this series.
Well, he just stole another pitch because that one was off the plate.
Dyson shoots another one through. Gerard Dyson thinking about 2, and he squeals the brakes. Leadoff single for Dyson, who stole a bag last time.
There's the change, only this one catches too much of the plate. 2 for 3 for Dyson. And he represents the tying run with a whole lot of speed.
All right, so how do you play this? You got Madrigal, who makes a lot of contact. You got Dyson, who's got a lot of speed. When? How?
Well, I'm thinking about a hit and run with Nick Madrigal, because if you do put on the hit and run, he will make contact.
Clippard, a long look in. He will throw, and Madrigal shows a bunt to take a strike. My preference would be your preference, the hit and run instead of the bunt. But
I don't think he's going to bunt.
Well, we saw it the other night. Engel showed bunt and then reached back and slashed. And Ricky Renteria made an outstanding call there to get what was the winning run across.
Well, so far, Tyler has shook off everything from Jeffers. Back to a fastball.
With this offense, we've not seen the bunt very much. You got Anderson, Grandal, and Abreu coming up. Now Nick, again, is one of the best 2-strike hitters in Major League Baseball. So he's here now. The bunt has got to be off, and he can go to work.
Well, now you're thinking about Clippard throwing something out of the zone, which also sets up stolen base attempt.
Fouled away, first base side.
Clippard is very slow to home plate. He has a decent move to first, but he doesn't use a slide step, and he takes a lot of time delivering the ball because he has a long arm swing. Sergio Romo listening in the pen. He has not been in this series yet. That's a little bigger lead at first by Dyson.
And Clippard shortens it.
That is a very big lead at first.
Clippard just saw it. Dyson started and did not go. It clangs off Jeffers' glove, and now 1-2.
I think he thought about going. Would have been a good pitch to run because Clippard threw it well off the plate, but Gerard didn't get the kind of a jump he wanted, and so he just wisely he went back. You don't get the good jump, just go back, and no harm, no foul. That's his changeup.
Dyson runs. Madrigal to right field, and it hangs up in the air. This is trouble. Kepler to first base, and that pulls Sano off the bag. Dyson is back to first. Gerard Dyson was nearly at second base when Kepler made that catch. And a good throw by Kepler is a double play.
Yeah, what a great break that is, because if Kepler is setting up to make this throw, there's no way in the world Dyson can get back. He just throws it off the mark. And Sano goes out to at least knock it down, so Dyson cannot move, but that's an easy two that turned out not to be.
Here's Tim. First pitch, strike on a changeup from Clippard. Remember, Tim has all of 2 games this month when he hasn't put up a hit.
He came up in a key situation in the 5th inning and grounded to, at the time, Donaldson, who has been thrown out of the ball game, giving way to Adrianza at third. This is either a pitch out or a throw over to first base.
Long hold. There's a throw to first.
Gerard doing a little housekeeping at first base.
That's the better kind of housekeeping, where you're not trying to kick it on the umpire. That'll keep you in the game. Tim Anderson, even with an 0 for 3 right now, is 13 for his last 26. That's 500 for those of you who don't play Sox math. Another throw to first.
Yeah, I think Gerard realizes he can even get another half step, maybe a step on that lead, because Clippard's move, unless he's hiding a better one, and I don't think he is, it's not quite as quick as some of the others. Plus, he does take a long time to deliver the ball.
That's a strike. 0-2.
That was a bit of a quick pitch from Clippard as he's trying to vary his times to control a running game.
You mentioned a little while ago the shadows will creep in. They have now. How do you see a changeup in the shadows?
Depends on the spin. Depends on what kind of spin you have. Some of them you recognize as a fastball. Sometimes you can pick up the spin. I just think you've got to concentrate so much more with visibility like this.
Another throw to first. Sano's
trying to push him off the bag.
He figures if I keep the tag on him all night long, there's no way he can score.
Well, this would be his running lead. At least he has that. This is going to be an outside fastball to Tim.
One and two. Dyson runs. Tim takes ball 2, and Dyson steals second base. Second steal for Dyson.
If you're on the mound and you notice your base runner, you know when he takes an extra half step. Dyson had a half step and then straight to the bag. 2 for 2 today in stolen bases. Gerard brings a lot to the party.
I was going to say, you watch that and you think about a postseason situation where he draws so much attention, and you have to figure he's going to be involved late in games when the Sox do make it to the postseason officially this year, whenever that day comes. Tim to second base. Marwin Gonzalez for out number 2. Dyson to third. MLB celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month by recognizing the contributions made to our game by the Latino baseball community, past and present. Follow Los Mayores and @MLB and visit losmayores.com for full coverage. So it is up to Yasmani Grandal, who swung it well today at 2 for 3. First pitch, ball 1. Every run in this game today has scored on a solo home run. (3-0) for Grandal.
Man in the on-deck circle is the man you want to see up there. And you know one thing about Yasmani, if it's out of the zone, almost without exception, he's not swinging. This is guaranteed fastball in this at bat.
3-0. Off the plate, ball 4. So Jose Abreu, the RBI leader in the league, has runners at first and third and 2 down. And he's not going to face Tyler Clippard.
No, it looks like it's going to be Sergio Romo, I would think. So he asked for the baseball. Tyler Clippard has not had the happiest of series. Romo coming in. Game on the bases. World's best golfers take on golf's greatest challenge. The U.S. Open from historic Winged Foot Golf Club continues tomorrow at 3 on NBC. Our lakeside bank call to the pen is Sergio Romo. 3.12 ERA, on for the 20th time. Only 4 walks in 17 1/3, but he has allowed a couple of home runs. He's tough on right-handers, but Jose is a tough right-hander.
Well, look, Sergio Romo's been in huge spots. He's pitched in World Series. He's won himself a couple of rings. Abreu has seen a lot of baseball, and this is 7th inning or later this year. The RBI leader, Jose Abreu, takes a first pitch, wraparound slider, strike 1. Now, do not despair if Abreu gets to 2 strikes. Because he has 21 of his runs driven in this year, close to half, with 2 strikes. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jeffers has been very good behind the plate, blocking anything, and now the pressure increases on him. Tying run 90 feet away, and Dyson's a burner.
Sergio Romo will take a moment to himself and collect his thoughts. Two and 1 on Jose. Smacks of a slider count here.
Well, look, I don't think he's going to give in to Jose, even if he has to load him up.
was a fastball, 2-2.
87 miles an hour, not a whole lot on it, but Jose probably looking something off speed. It's just a touch behind it.
Sergio Romo basically is a two-pitch pitcher to right-handers. It's slider, it's four-seam fastball. Not many changeups at all. Doesn't throw the sinker a whole lot. That's how he likes to throw to lefties.
Here comes the slider.
2-2. Abreu on the ground, left-hand side. Polanco. Jose beat it out. This ball game is tied. Abreu another two-strike RBI.
Well, Polanco didn't exactly rush into this play. I mean, he doesn't feel the urgency of getting it there. So the slider was there, the fastballs weren't. That was one, that was two, they were not there. This one fouled away, and then Jose in full protection mode reaches out, and he's hustling down the line. Polanco's there, kind of wants to backhand it, but not near in time. Jose beats the play, and he beats it by plenty.
And so now the Sox will pinch run for Grandal. Yolmer Sanchez off the bench. McCann will come in to catch when the Sox play defense again. And now Eloy Jimenez rips one down the left field line. The Sox are going to take the lead. Yolmer Sanchez scores. Eloy's got a surprise for Sergio Romo, and it's 4-3.
Seventh inning runs. This ball club is deadly from the seventh inning on, and Romo is shocked. Watch it again. That's a fastball. They've been getting out Eloy inside fastballs all day, but guess what? This time he's looking for it. Opens up and drills it down the line. Sox for the first time today have the lead.
That guy smiles a lot, but there is a fire that runs deep to be the best player in baseball, and you saw it right there.
23 two-out RBIs, the best in baseball.
Edwin taps it foul. Late offense, late in games, late in innings, late in counts for the White Sox this year. It's a 23rd hour offense, and the Sox with 2 out get a walk from Grandal, the Abreu infield single, and then Eloy Jimenez a smash. 0-2 on Encarnacion.
By the way, for Jose, just in case you are keeping count at home, that's 51 driven in 50 games. That time he went out of the strike zone, as run producers do. An infield hit, as usually run producers don't, and he kept the inning alive.
No, sir. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the 8th inning, the leadoff batter for the Twins will be Josh Donaldson's spot. He's no longer part of this contest after being ejected after his home run in the 6th. 1-2. Edwin grounds it foul, third base side. So the Sox, with a win today, would clinch a playoff spot for the first time in 12 years. And you see, the 7th inning or later, it's not even in the neighborhood. The Sox are the best offense here in the American League late.
These are 2 big ones to pick up against a high-powered offensive club.
Edwin hits it high in the air, left-hand side. It's Polanco drifting against the wind, and he makes the catch to retire the side. But the Sox take the lead for the first time today. Ride 'em, Cowboy. Mazzara, TA about to jump on the field. Let's go, Eloy says. Xfinity. It's a drop by Luis Robert in center field. Very rare. He stays with the play. Byron Buxton against Nick Madrigal's arm. Nick unloads a rocket, and Grandal's catch saves a run that is the decider in this game right now. The Sox have the lead, 4-3 to the 8th inning we go, and James McCann comes on to catch for Yasmani Grandal, who was pinch run for in the bottom of the 7th inning, and now it's time to get 6 outs and go to the playoffs. A-Ray Adrianza will bat, then Polanco and Cruz in this 8th inning. And we talked about Donaldson's ejection. The question you have to ask as well on Abreu's infield single that drove in the tying run, if Donaldson is in the game, does he cut that ball off and not let it get to Polanco?
I'm not sure if he gets that or not, but there's one thing about the game of baseball that has held true for a long time, and we'll get to it after this pitch.
Can't wait. 0-1 is there. 0-2.
The object of this game is to beat the opposition, and when you allow a personal agenda to get in the way of beating the opposition, you're hurting the ball club in the middle of a pennant race, and this is a pennant race. You can't allow a personal agenda to hurt the team.
Upstairs, strike 3. He came, he saw, he conquered. 3 pitches from Cody Hoyer.
Well, so Donaldson has hit a home run, but his spot has struck out.
It's a great point, Steve. It's emotion bubbling over at a time when you can't afford it.
Well, that's the same thing with pitchers. If you don't like something a guy did and you hit him, to put him on base to put your team in a position to lose. So it's not just the offensive players, and not just Josh Donaldson. It's just that's the way this game works. The first thing will always be a team win. Put the personal agenda and set it aside.
Well, the one thing I'll say in defense of anybody who does that sort of thing is, in order to be a high-level athlete, and you know this, you have got to have a major competitive streak. You have got to believe you're going to beat the other person on the field. And so, yeah, sometimes that is going to boil over. And you know everybody who does it feels remorse for it at some point thereafter. That doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, but that's where it comes from, because there's nobody in the crowd and you can feel it. We've talked to players. You can feel it in the ballpark how important this game is to everybody involved. Nobody's here, and it's a volcano starting to bubble. Polanco down to strike 2.
But normally you might tolerate that from a kid in his first year or two, an emotional kid who doesn't quite keep things in perspective. But from a veteran leader of your ball club, brought in from a number of winning traditions, you just don't expect something like that.
2-2. Swing and a miss, an uncomfortable cut. Hoyer rocked Polanco 2 down.
This slider is just outstanding. I mean, we've talked about it from Cody Hoyer before. He's got back of the bullpen stuff. The question is, how will he harness it? And if he does, you're looking at a guy that sometime, somewhere in the not too distant future, he will close baseball games in the major leagues.
Born in Missoula, Montana, Cody Hoyer gets strike 1 on Nelson Cruz. This is 2-3-4 in the order for the Minnesota Twins, the Central Division champs last year.
Well, one of the things you're seeing with this visibility, you're not picking up the spin on the slider.
Oh, and 2. What was that?
That's throw a third one there and call it a day.
One ball, 2 strikes.
This a little bit higher than he'd want it, but it is in the strike zone.
1-2. To right, Dyson's not got to play.
Now we'll probably see Cruz leave for a pinch runner, I would assume. And that last slider was a bit of a mistake. Here comes Ricky Renteria. This one spins over the middle of the plate, and instead of that biter away, occasionally you get under the slider and it does this. The inning stays alive. So Cody Hoyer will depart. And as he does, we'll step out. Alex Colomé in.
(2021) Let's talk ticket plans with flexible payment options, postseason priority, and more. Call or text Sox Ticks to 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com today.
Our Lakeside Bank call to the pen is Alex Colomé on for the 19th time. If he does nail it down, it's going to take 4 outs to get it. He's 11 for 12 in save situations. His ERA is dipped below 1. Jake Cave has taken over pinch running at first base, carrying with him the tying run. Eddie Rosario, who does occasionally take the ball the opposite way. So the outfield left to right is Eloy, Luis, Gerard Dyson in right.
Alex to Eddie Rosario. That'll have to wait a throw on Cave. If you're just joining us, the Sox with a win would go to the playoffs for the first time since 2008. The best record in the American League lives in Chicago.
Jake Cave is not in to steal a base. Not that he can't, he just hasn't tried since 2018. Cruz kept the game alive.
Two balls, no strikes.
You got a guy you sure don't want to see this inning, Miguel Sano in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, in no world is he exciting with 2 on and 2 out. Popped up. Good no. McCann dives and can't make the catch. Oof.
Thought the inning was over. It wasn't. Not that it will matter, but it probably will go E2. They give it no play.
Two and one on Rosario. There are still 3 outs to get after this inning ends, whenever that might be. 2 and 1. Downstairs, 3 balls and a strike. Alex Colomé, we saw come in against the Twins in game 1 and close out the 8th and then the 9th. Strike 3-2. Oh, heartbreak for Rosario.
He's not going to say anything because this is borderline. Didn't go his way. There's a 4th out given the Twins this inning, and you just have to hope that it doesn't come back to haunt the Sox.
So you take his profile as a free swinger. You take the frustration of a strike 2 that came out of nowhere for him. You gotta believe he's swinging here.
Well, it's going to be a cutter, and it's probably going to be down. Let's hope he can expand his zone.
3-2. He does swing to first base, and that will do it. Colomé escapes. Rosario's irate. The Sox are 3 outs away. Honda City, it was solo home runs galore early on, 5 of them. The first 5 runs in the ball game, in fact, came across on solo shots. Edwin there. This one from Donaldson that got him ejected eventually. But Jose Abreu legging out an infield single tied the ball game in the 7th, and then this from Eloy. That gave the Sox the lead. Down the line, let's go is right. 3 outs to get and a chance to pad the lead against the left-hander out of the bullpen.
Caleb Thielbar, and he is a left-hander. ERA of 1.93, but 18 strikeouts in 14 innings. Let's see if the boys can add a little insurance here.
Yoan Moncada first, and he takes ball 1.
I think this could be the guy that Luis Robert has been waiting for.
You do?
Yeah, I think so.
Why so?
I think it's a good matchup.
2-1.
That was a curveball that actually almost caught the corner. I mean, looked like he was throwing it to the second row. There's a lot of spin on that.
Two and 2. The Twins in the 9th will have Sano, Buxton, and Gonzalez.
Never easy with that lineup.
Second time today, Yoan's gotten locked up on a fastball basically down the middle. 1 out as we get a sneak peek at what's coming up on White Sox Postgame Live presented by Subaru. Chuck and Ozzie. Yeah, there's a clincher waiting to be had, Chuck and Ozzie. 3 outs for the Sox, and Alex Colomé will mean a playoff berth, but a chance to pad the lead a little bit here. 1-1 to Robert.
Look, this has been a terrific series, and this would cap it off if the Sox can hold on. Still a long way to go in this one. And there's been a lot of tension in this series.
27 runners left on in the opener combined. Close ball games throughout. And the Sox, with a win, would take the tiebreaker over the Twins as well. So again, this game counts basically for 2 games in the standings. Two and two. Robert, first base side. That's a long run. Kepler's over there. So is Gonzalez, and Marwin Gonzalez slides into position to make a really nice grab. Tickets for the Chicago White Sox Charities Car Raffle presented by Mazda of Orland Park remain on sale until September 28th at 1 p.m. Get your tickets for your chance to win a Mazda CX-30 specially designed by a White Sox fan. Visit whitesox.com/SoxCar for more information.
Like, that was just a great play by Gonzalez because he was the only one could have made the catch. It wasn't Sano. He couldn't get there. Kepler couldn't get there in time, and the only one who could was Marwin. And he pulled off a beauty because that could have easily been 2 bases.
Gerard Dyson has had a very nice game at 2 for 3, couple of stolen bases, in position to score what eventually was the tying run in the 7th inning.
He's been a big factor in this one.
One ball, one strike. One, two. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice battle. 6th pitch coming.
Two and two. Dyson lofts it left-hand side. Adrianza, Polanco. Adrianza can't make the catch.
Another life. Drifts over into foul territory and can't make the play.
The wind was cooking at 16 at first pitch in this game, and it must be playing some tricks down on the field.
No play on that.
Foul ball by Dyson. Lengthy sequence against Thielbar. It'll be Alex Colomé against Sano, Buxton, and Gonzalez in the 9th. 2-2. Just missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Dyson with a good take. This ball is off the corner. And even with the help of Jeffers, can't sell the call.
Second base, Gonzalez. If you're tense right now, probably going to be more tense when we come back. 3 outs to get for the White Sox to go to the playoffs. It's on the horizon. Colomé will try and do it when we come back. Save, beat it out. And now Eloy Jimenez rips one down the left field line. Eloy's got a surprise for Sergio Romo, and it's 4-3. So the Sox will make defensive changes here. Gerard Dyson moves into left, Adam Engel into the ball game in right, and this is the best outfield the Sox can run out there.
It is the best they can put there, and 3 more outs to get, but it's 3 guys who have been swinging it pretty well, especially Buxton in the on-deck circle.
In 2008, in game 163, the last time the Sox made the playoffs, it was Jason Kubel, Denard Span, and Alexi Casilla to face Bobby Jenks. This is Sano, Buxton, and Gonzalez, and a first pitch swing from Miguel Sano. Robert is there, and 1 out.
Well, you love to see that. No drama in the bat of Sano. Here's a guy that has been impossible to get out all day.
Literally.
Yep.
Home run in the 2nd off Lopez. Home run in the 5th off Lopez. Single to center. And a mad dash around the bases in the 7th that Nick Madrigal stopped just shy of the plate.
1 for 3 lifetime against Colomé.
Ball 1.
That one hit a double. And the other 2 at bats, strikeouts.
James had to fight that one. 2 balls, no strikes.
That got him off the knee.
Now, you certainly hope James is okay. Number 1, for his own health, but also number 2, you don't have any catchers left. I would imagine it would be Yolmer Sanchez. He's worked at it before. Oh, Yolmer's already been in the game as a pinch runner,
yes.
So you don't even have that option.
Nope. Can you catch?
You know the answer. 2-0. Center field. Luis Robert. 2 down. 1 out away from a White Sox playoff spot. Let that sink in for a second. 1 out away from the Sox making the playoffs for the first time since 2008. Strike 1.
Infield in a radical shift. Yoan Moncada playing Straightaway shortstop, but very short in case there's a squibber off the end of the bat. Outfield deep all the way around.
2 strikes. One more from Alex Colomé. Back to Alex. He knocks it down. He recovers, but not in time. And the Twins have a base runner in the 9th.
Now we'll see a pinch hitter for Jeffers. Just depends on who Rocco Baldelli wants. That's right in the middle of the glove. It bounds away, and then Marwin hustling down the line beats the play at first. It just is never easy. Just about the time you think that you're 1 strike away, you get the hopper back and nothing doing. So Astudillo will come on a pinch hit. And one thing you know about him is he's going to put the bat on the ball.
And he may do it early in the count.
Not known for a great deal of walks.
First pitch swing in the air. Luis Robert makes the catch, and in a year when so many of us have had to be apart, we all will journey together into October with the White Sox for the first time in 12 years. The Sox are going to the playoffs.
One of the great things about this series is the Twins came to town and they thought they were better than the White Sox. The Sox battle them this year to a standstill at 5-5. The Twins will leave town knowing that this White Sox team is not anything they've faced in the last few years. This team never quits. This team comes back, and this team has pushed them 4 games back in the loss column with 10 games to go. As far as the Sox are concerned, that's an ecstatic bunch of guys who battled back again in this one, refused to give up, and they are going to the playoffs at the very least.
Yeah, now there's a division to win. The Sox have the tiebreaker over Minnesota and a 3-game lead with 10 games to play. The Sox will play Cincinnati, Cleveland, and the Cubs, but the White Sox are going to the playoffs. You will watch October baseball this year.
Well, what we've heard all year was that the Sox they're a decent team, and there was a lot of buts at the end of it, but they haven't played anybody good, but they're just, this is not good enough or that's not good enough. And at the end of the day, this team did everything they could in this series, winning 3 of 4 from a very good, and make no mistake, this is a very good Minnesota Twins team. And they're going to be a big force in the playoffs because they're going to be there also. And who knows what October brings, but maybe we haven't seen them for the last time.
You never know what's going to happen, but the Sox, with 8 to play for Minnesota and 10 to play for themselves, have a 3-game lead in the division. The Sox have the best record in the American League. They're the 2nd team to clinch a playoff berth in 2020. The Dodgers were first, the Sox are 2nd, and they're the first team into the AL postseason. And Tim Anderson joins us downstairs. Well, batting champ from last year, you're going to the playoffs. You're going to the playoffs. How do you feel?
Oh man, it feels great. You know, definitely first time, so I'm excited. You know, the guys rallied today, and we was able to scratch out a win.
What does it mean to this team and what you guys have been building to know you're going to be in October?
Man, it's great. You know, we got the bats, man. We just got to keep, you know, coming together as a team, and you know, we'll see what happens. You know, we're ready. We're excited. You know, it's first time in a while.
Tim, this whole series was really tough and tight. I mean, you were down a lot of games. You came back today, no exception.
Mm-hmm.
When your team gets down, what's the feeling in that dugout?
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing, man. You know, we was able to scratch out a win. Today was a tough one, but we was able to fight through it, and you know, we was able to come out on top with a win.
For you personally, what does it mean to know you've got a team that you're going to help lead into the playoffs?
Man, I'm so excited to be in. Just, you know, just a blessing, man, to be in the position that I'm in. You know, it's been a long time coming, man. You know, this is exciting. I'm excited about this. First time for everything, but we're ready.
When did this really change for you? We saw you win the batting title last year. When do you feel like you really turned that corner everybody's seeing?
You know, probably towards the end of last year. You know, I was able to, you know, figure out and learn myself as a hitter and as a player. And, you know, this year's carried over. And, you know, just being able to, you know, beat guys at all angles, whether it's, you know, defense, at the plate, or whatever it is. And, you know, I went over 4 today. But, you know, you best believe I was there for the guys and rooting them on, and we was able to get a win.
Tim, in the first spring training back in February, March, this team seemed to have a lot of confidence, and yet you came from a lot of different places. You from here, Grandal from someplace. Right. I mean, everybody came from other places. What gave you guys the confidence in the spring to carry it over into this season?
Just personality. Guys are bought in. We're all in. You know, we know what direction we want to do, and there's no secret. There's no secret here. You know what we're trying to do, and you know, guys are bought in, and we're ready. We're excited, and you know, we're ready to see what happens.
Thought you were going to jump onto the field when you guys took the lead.
I was. Exciting moment.
Hey, Tim, congratulations.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Tim Anderson, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule presented by Volkswagen. Well, although this one was certainly exciting, there's still plenty more to come. It's 3 with Cincinnati. The team will board their charter and head to Cincinnati. As long as they're in Ohio, they might as well go to Cleveland. Always like Cleveland. There's 4 with the Indians, and then right back here to end the season with the Cubs. So 10 left, 10 big ball games, and I got to tell you something. This is really, really exciting.
And there's more to come from here in the ballpark for this season as well. For now, we're going to go into the studio. We'll come back and tell you more from the ballpark. Chuck, Ozzie, Subaru White Sox postgame live goes now.